It's time for my Better Call Saul series finale predictions video. Before I talk about any predictions, I have to warn you, if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching, you're watching Better Call Saul, which is all the way up until the series finale titled Saul Gone, then I highly suggest that you don't watch this video to avoid any potential spoilers. So, this show has surprised me, especially at the end. I thought for this finale there would be other questions that we would have answered, like how is Ignacio Nacho Varga going to die or disappear? What is going to happen to Howard Hamlin? What is going to happen to Lalo Sanamaka? And they've all been killed already. So that was a little shocking. I'm surprised they killed Howard and Lalo when they did. But we still have some unanswered questions. So I'm just going to go over some theories, some predictions, some thoughts, anything I can think of. Of course, before I do that, if you happen to be a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino, Breaking Bad movie, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, go ahead and smash that like button. It doesn't take long to do that. And make sure you leave any theories or predictions or thoughts of your own in the comments section. I always respond to any of all comments. And if for some reason I don't, and you've seen or you see that I've responded to recent comments that were made after yours, it's possible that that notification never came to me and I just missed it. So leave the same comment again and I will definitely respond. And of course, subscribe to the channel to help me out. And please stay subscribed to the channel after Better Call Saul is over with. I believe my plan is going to be to review all the previous episodes of Better Call Saul. I wish I got on this show earlier on. I just wasn't motivated enough, but I finally got motivated shortly after season 6 began to start doing review videos. So I caught up, watched all the seasons in like a month's time, and some of the things I forget because I binged the whole thing, but I'll do my best. But here are some predictions and theories and thoughts that I have. Okay, we got to talk about returning characters for the finale. I don't know how much time they're going to have to return, but Bryan Cranston already confirmed that him and Jesse would have a scene together. Jesse would have his own scene in there, and Walt would have his own scene. Well, we've already seen Jesse and Walt together, and we've already seen Jesse, though. So that means we're going to have another scene with Walter Hartwell White. What that will be, I'm not sure. A lot of rumors point to him and Saul having another scene down in the vacuum cleaner shop's basement, and that would make sense. There's a rumor, and I don't think this is true, but hey, I'll throw it out there since somebody said it, that on his way back from New Hampshire, I think that's where he went, that's where Ed Forster's character dropped him off in season 6 or season 5 of Breaking Bad. He goes to Nebraska first before he goes back to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and meets up with Saul there. It would be a crazy scene if you see Walt with hair and the oversized jacket, or was it undersized jacket, at the Cinnabon. I don't know how quickly Gene got a job at the Cinnabon, but that would be interesting to see Walt standing in line there just glaring at Saul. But I don't think it's possible. Why would he stop there? He wanted to take care of Jack and his gang right away, but that's something somebody threw out there, and I thought I'd address it. So I do expect to see Walt at some point. It would be cool if him and Kim had a scene together. That would be epic. This is a character that I think will come back in the finale. Tuco Salamanca. We haven't seen Tuco for quite a while. The show started with Tuco. Well, the end of the first episode had Tuco, and we haven't seen him for a while. I believe the last time we saw him was when he beat Mike up and Mike purposely got him put in jail. We need to know how Tuco gets out, who takes him in, what happens. Otherwise, that's kind of a gap of, well, okay, Tuco got out of jail and then somehow took over for when Emilio and Crazy 8 weren't wheeling and dealing anymore. So I do think we see Tuco, although there are rumors that the actor is very hard to work with and maybe they just don't want to bring him back, and that might be the case, but I feel like we should see Tuco again. I could be wrong, though. Skinny Pete and Badger. Now, I know that Badger didn't meet Saul until season 2 of Breaking Bad in the episode titled Better Call Saul, where DJ Qualls is an undercover cop for the DEA and gets Badger to try to sell him drugs. But I think we should at least see them in this series at some point, and maybe we see them in the finale. I don't know how. Maybe we just see them in passing or something like that, but I do believe that we will see Badger and Skinny Pete. It would only be right. Crazy 8. We haven't seen Crazy 8 for a while. He has been in the show. We need to see him kind of get the reins to the drug empire, at least for the time being, until, of course, Tuco gets it. And we haven't seen kind of that changeover. So it's possible we see him, and we just saw Emilio in the last episode, so it only makes sense. Of course, we can't have all these characters in the same episode. Another character or characters that we haven't seen yet, that I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen, are anybody from Jack's gang. Because Saul had mentioned in Season 5 that he worked with these guys, with Vamonos Pests, I believe. I don't know what the exact wording is, but it would only make sense that we see one of them. I mean, it's the last episode, the series finale, and we haven't seen any of them to my knowledge yet. Maybe we won't, but I think we should at least get a mention of them, or maybe Saul has a file on his desk that says Vamonos Pests or something like that. I would expect that there should be a mention of them. My lips are getting dry, of course. Here's a character or characters that it would be nice to see. Will they really fit in? No, but we could just see him eating dinner somewhere if somebody walks by. And that would be Skyler White, Walter White Jr., and Holly White. We have not seen Skyler or Walter Jr. or Holly in Better Call Saul. Do we really need to see her? No, but that actress was such an integral part of Breaking Bad. Even though I couldn't stand her character, she was certainly integral to all the elements that happened in Breaking Bad, and it would be good to see her somehow, some way. Maybe if there's a court hearing in the finale or something like that, she's called to testify against Saul / Jimmy / Gene, something like that. I mean, it wouldn't, I don't know how it would actually work out. She already had a deal with the DEA, I think, so probably doesn't make sense to have that happen, but you could just see her eating dinner somewhere as somebody walks by, or somebody gets a job at a cab company and she's the dispatcher, because I do recall them saying that she was a dispatcher at a cab company last time we heard about Skyler, so it's possible. Bill Oakley. I can't remember when we last saw Bill Oakley. I think it was pretty recent, actually, in this season, but he's apparently a defense prosecutor now, and it would only make sense to see him again, especially if somebody goes on trial, whether it be Jimmy / Saul / Gene. I really hate all these names. Or possibly Kim. I doubt Kim will go on trial for anything, but you never know. But I think we do see him again. And then, of course, there's characters that we may not see, but it would be nice to see them making a final appearance. Gus Fring, Mike Ehrmantraut, or Ehrmantraut, I should say, Hector Salamanca, Gail Bedecker. I thought in Better Call Saul there would be a scene where the lab was done and Gail Bedecker was down in the lab and smiling, and we haven't got that. Gus just wanted Mike to make sure the construction on the lab continues, and that was it. So I don't know. Francesca, we've already actually got a lot of Francesca lately. I'm just wondering if she'll be in the finale or not. Maybe, maybe not, but it's good to see a character that we've consistently seen. Hank. That's an interesting one. They did make appearance, him and Agent Steve Gomez, at a previous episode of Better Call Saul. It would be cool to see him again, especially with the case against, well, he wouldn't be in a future scene, obviously, but some kind of past scene or something like that. I don't know. Probably won't happen. Marie. I did not like Marie's character at all, but I think she was an integral part of Breaking Bad, somewhat, and it would be interesting just to see her for a second or two. Huell Bavino. I liked Huell. It sounds like we already got closure on his character. Francesca told Jimmy / Gene / Saul, whatever you want to call him, on the phone that he was doing well in Louisiana, but it would be cool to see a cameo from Huell again. I can't remember the last time we saw him, but it's been at least a season or two. So here's a question that some people are bringing up. I don't think it's possible, but hey, I'll mention it. Could we see Jesse Pinkman in the timeline after the events of El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie? Like I said, it's probably highly unlikely, but there's that scene where Kim is standing at the bus station under the Alaska thing. Maybe she goes to Alaska to to get away from everything and just start all over, but as Kim Wexler and not as a different identity. That would be interesting. But if she runs into Jesse again, that would be very interesting. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think that was just some Easter eggs to show Alaska. Who knows, though? You never know. With this writing team, you just never know when they're going to throw something like that at you. What's going to happen with Jeff and Marion? Well, with Jeff, there's really no evidence linking him to the robbery of the guy with cancer, played by Stewart from Breaking Bad. It's possible that Gene / Jimmy / Saul will get him out of jail before he runs off. I don't know if that's possible anymore, but who knows. But I do think he'll get out. Marion, I think she'll be fine. I don't, I thought for a second there that Gene was going to strangle her with the phone cord. I really did, because he was tightening it up. I'm like, there's no way. He's never killed somebody, before himself. But I don't know. I think Jeff will get out, and that'll kind of drop that angle. But I could be completely wrong. Maybe Jeff wants to kill Gene / Saul / Jimmy, whatever. That would be crazy, but you never know. What's going to happen to Kim Wexler in the end? Now, if you asked me this question before the season started, you had to say, well, will she die? At this point right now, I don't see a way where Kim Wexler dies, unless somebody like Jeff, who's raged about what Gene has done or Saul has done or Jimmy has done to him, somehow, some way, Kim shows up where they are and she's in the line of fire and gets killed. Don't see that happening. Jeff's just not an important character enough to have that happen, or to have him be the one that does that. I would have thought somebody like Lalo Salamanca would be the one that would kill Kim, but instead he killed Howard Hamlin. So I think obviously Kim is going to live. Now, what will happen to Kim? There's that rumor that she may go to Alaska and meet up with Jesse Pinkman, or whatever the hell his alias was in El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. I guess that's slightly possible. I doubt it, but my thoughts are Kim will probably go back to Florida. Well, she's back in Florida already, and continue living her boring life. However, I'd say there's a 30 to 40% chance that she says, fuck this shit, I'm tired of all this boring shit in Florida, and goes back to Albuquerque and becomes an attorney again, or becomes an attorney in Florida, somehow gets her her law practice license back. It's possible, I guess, to make Kim be like the standout person of the show, that she kind of turned bad but got good again, like she realized the error of her ways, especially with the scene of her on the bus and just breaking down. I'm not sure, but certainly I could see that happen. And also, it's possible that she may go to jail. I think that's unlikely. She may be in a jail seeing somebody, but I don't think Kim is going to end up in jail, although you never know. She was the one that pushed for them to continue on with the Howard Hamlin scheme, so it's slightly possible. And like I mentioned, I think there is a possibility that she might start practicing law again. It's certainly something that could happen. Sorry I had to stop the video there. I don't know why this happens, but when I do videos for YouTube that I talk a lot in a row, my lips get extremely dry to the point where I have trouble speaking, and right there I had to stop and go get some water and all that, just because. So I guess there actually is one other person I forgot to mention, and somebody that might make an appearance in the finale. I'm just going to have everybody show back up in the finale. Every character that's been on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. No. What about a Chuck cameo? We haven't seen Chuck for a while, and I think it would only be rather fitting, especially depending on what happens to Jimmy / Saul / Gene. I really hate saying all these names. I should just say Saul. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Chuck cameo. Something, a hallucination, a previous scene, or a scene that we didn't see before, something like that. It wouldn't surprise me if Chuck came back, or even Howard. I'm not sure if Howard would happen, but certainly Chuck is definitely a possibility, I think. So, what is going to happen to Jimmy McGill / Saul Goodman / Gene? I can't remember his last name. Something. Well, I think he's going to right some wrongs. In the last couple episodes, they've made him out to be kind of an unlikable character. I mean, he hasn't done anything crazy bad like kill somebody in cold blood, but it's possible he might right some wrongs, and I do think that he will end up in jail. For how long? We don't know, but I think it's going to be some sort of reduced sentence. So he's not in there long, and when he's in there, it's like his place. Like everybody likes him because he defended all those criminals. It's sad to say, but like they like him because he defended him. So he like has a following from the people in jail, and is actually maybe one of the better things for him, possibly, because he doesn't have to be he doesn't have to hide who he is anymore like he's been doing. So it's very possible. And then will he die? At this point, I don't see how he would die unless Jeff would have to be the one at this point, I think, that would kill him, which I don't. He hasn't done anything for Jeff to want to kill him. But I guess anything's possible. If Lalo Sadamaka was still around, then I would certainly, yeah, that might happen. But with Lalo gone, I don't think that Jimmy slash Gene slash Saul is going to be killed off. Even though there's some scenes that have hinted to something like that, and then they're having him have parallels like Walter White, and then they're having Kim and Jesse Pinkman kind of have parallels. But I don't think he's not going to die. I'd be very shocked if he dies. And then I think what's one thing that people are thinking is, well, will Jimmy and Kim, or will Jimmy slash Saul slash Gene, is it Tadawick? Tata something. Will they have another scene together? Because they've been talking on the phone, but they haven't seen each other since Kim left Saul's office that we just saw in the last episode. But that was, like 6 years ago approximately. So I think they might see each other in some sort of courtroom scene when Jimmy slash Saul slash Gene gets his sentence, and Kim will be there. She'll know that he started to right some wrongs, and she'll be proud of him, possibly. And as far as them ending up together again, I don't think it's going to happen. Although, if they show a really far in the future scene where he gets out of jail, we could see Kim be the one that's there to like take him home, and then they kind of leave it like we don't know what happened, but they left together, sort of thing. I could see that happening, but I don't know. I guess if he rights a lot of wrongs and does his time and stops doing schemes, although that's kind of one of the reasons why they were together. But if like he turns into a better person, it's very possible, if Kim is tired of her boring life in Florida and she really likes, obviously she doesn't like the guy she's with now. He's lame as shit. I guess it's more possible than I'm actually saying, but I just don't think that so much has to happen in one episode, and I don't know how long the episode runtime is for stuff like that to occur. So I don't think they get back together, although they could leave it like we don't know what happened, but they left together. That would actually, I think that might be how it ends. She picks him up once he gets out, and then they drive off together, and we don't know. They leave it open for possibly the Jimmy and Kim show. I don't know. So that's what I got. Like I said, if you have theories of your own, anything you want to talk about, leave it in the comments section. I respond to all comments. And like I said before, if for some reason I haven't responded to your comment and you see that I've responded to other comments after yours, it might have just been something that I didn't get a notification from. Because if I get a lot of comments on stuff, sometimes I get like 9 out of 11 notifications. It happens. So just write the same comment again. I'll respond to it, unless I'm sleeping, of course. Smash the like button if you're a fan of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, or El Camino Breaking Bad movie. I hope you are if you're watching this video. And, of course, to support the channel, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and stay subscribed. And JDev will return. And remember to come back to the channel for my Better Call Saul series finale review video shortly after the episode ends on Monday night.